Have you ever walked away from a conversation only to keep having it inside your head for the next 3 days? The other person already forgot about it. They moved on with their life, but somehow your mind did not. You replay every sentence, every pause, every facial expression. You remember something you said and suddenly cringe. Then you remember something they said and wonder if it meant something more. The conversation is over, but inside your mind, it is still happening, again and again and again. Some people can finish a conversation and immediately move on, but others carry it home with them, into the shower, into bed, into the next morning. Their body leaves the moment, their mind stays behind. If this sounds familiar, you are not strange, you are not overly dramatic, and you are definitely not alone. Because people who replay conversations after they end are often experiencing something much deeper than overthinking. They are responding to a psychological pattern that most people never fully understand. Today, we are going to explore why this happens, the hidden psychology behind it, the signs that reveal it, and most importantly, how to finally stop becoming a prisoner of conversations that ended hours ago. Most people assume this habit comes from anxiety, and sometimes it does, but the deeper explanation is often connected to something called social threat monitoring. Human beings evolved in groups. Thousands of years ago, being rejected by your tribe could be dangerous. Your survival depended on belonging. Because of this, the human brain developed systems that constantly evaluate social interactions. For some people, those systems become extremely sensitive. Their brain treats social situations like puzzles that must be solved. After a conversation ends, their mind keeps searching for hidden information. Did I say the wrong thing? Did they seem annoyed? Did I sound stupid? Was that joke awkward? Their brain believes that if it analyzes the interaction enough, it can prevent future pain. But instead of creating safety, it creates exhaustion, and that is where the cycle begins. The first sign is constantly looking for meanings beneath the surface. Someone sends a short text. Most people see a short text. You see a mystery. Someone says, "Okay." Your mind immediately asks questions. Why only okay? Why no emoji? Did they sound cold? Are they upset? People who replay conversations often become detectives of human behavior. They examine tone, timing, word choice, body language. The problem is that not every detail contains a secret message. Sometimes an okay is simply okay, but the mind keeps digging anyway, because uncertainty feels uncomfortable, and searching feels safer than not knowing. After the conversation ends, the attention turns inward. Now the investigation is about you. You replay your own words, you analyze your reactions, you judge your performance. Maybe you spoke too much, maybe you spoke too little, maybe you sounded boring, maybe you sounded weird. The conversation becomes a courtroom, and somehow you are both the defendant and the judge. Psychologists call this self-focused attention. Instead of experiencing life directly, you start observing yourself from the outside. You become hyper-aware of every mistake, even mistakes that nobody else noticed. The result is emotional exhaustion, because no one can relax while constantly being evaluated, especially when the evaluator is themselves. For many people, replaying conversations is not actually about embarrassment, it is about connection. Deep down, they fear being misunderstood. They want people to see who they really are. So after an interaction, they review everything. Did I explain myself correctly? Did they understand what I meant? Did I come across the wrong way? The irony is that the more they care about being understood, the more pressure they create. And pressure makes every interaction feel important. Every conversation starts carrying emotional weight. Eventually, even ordinary social moments begin feeling like tests. At first, replaying conversations looks like reflection, but eventually it becomes prediction. The brain starts creating future scenarios. Maybe I damaged the relationship. Maybe they'll stop talking to me. Maybe this will become a problem later.
Psychology calls this anticipatory anxiety. The mind believes that imagining future problems will create control, but control never arrives because the future remains uncertain. The person ends up living through the same conversation dozens of times, not in reality, only in imagination, and every replay creates more stress. This is perhaps the deepest sign of all. Some people know how to close a chapter, others keep rereading it. The conversation ends externally, but internally it stays open. Their mind keeps searching for closure, one more answer, one more realization, one more explanation. Yet closure rarely comes from analysis, because analysis is often searching for certainty, and certainty is something life cannot always provide. The more they chase it, the further away it seems. So what can people do? The answer is not to stop thinking. That would be impossible. The answer is learning when thinking is no longer helping. The first step is recognizing that thoughts are not facts. Just because your mind created a theory doesn't mean it's true. The second step is accepting uncertainty. Not every conversation can be fully understood. Not every reaction can be explained. Not every silence has a hidden meaning. The third step is learning to return to the present moment. When you notice yourself replaying a conversation, gently ask yourself a simple question. Is this helping me right now? Often the answer is no, and that awareness creates freedom. Finally, remember this. Most people are thinking about themselves far more than they are thinking about you. The mistake you keep replaying is often something they never even noticed. The conversation that feels enormous inside your mind may already be forgotten inside theirs. People who replay conversations are often intelligent, sensitive, thoughtful. They care deeply about relationships. They care deeply about understanding others. And sometimes they care so much that they accidentally turn every conversation into a problem that needs solving. But life was never meant to be solved. It was meant to be lived. The goal is not to analyze every moment. The goal is to experience it, to let it happen, to let it end, and then move forward. Because peace does not come from finding the perfect interpretation. Peace comes from finally allowing yourself to stop searching for one. If you found yourself in this video, leave a comment and tell us which sign felt the most familiar. You may discover that far more people think like you than you ever imagined. And if this video helped you understand yourself a little bit better, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who still finds themselves trapped inside conversations that ended long ago. Thank you for watching, and remember, not every conversation needs a second life inside your mind.